so bear with me. I know it's a little windy, but hopefully you can hear me. Now, yesterday, on the first part of my mini series about ENSO and this upcoming hurricane season, I mentioned that this season is looking to be a neutral ENSO season. Now, why is that important, right? So, I'm not going to go into great detail today about ENSO, but I will go into more detail in a future video. However, I do want to mention, in general, right, very generalized, ENSO has three phases: El Nino, La Nina, and the neutral phase. El Nino usually indicates, it isn't necessarily true. We've seen this in, I believe it was 2023, where we had an insane amount of hurricanes, and it was an El Nino season. But El Nino usually indicates that there will be less hurricanes in general, or less major hurricanes, and the steering conditions will make most hurricanes recurve sooner rather than later, most likely before making landfall in the Caribbean or the US. La Nina is opposite. La Nina usually indicates more hurricanes in general, more major hurricanes to come, and the steering conditions are more favorable for Caribbean and US landfalls. Neutral is very similar to La Nina in general. There are maybe a little bit less hurricanes likely to form during the neutral season. However, the steering conditions still allow it to go towards the US or the Caribbean in general, right? And that stays true for the steering conditions for the most part. However, it kind of varies depending on the hurricane season that you've seen in the past that would have been neutral as well. How intense or how many hurricanes or tropical cyclones would have formed during that season. And I say this because we've had neutral seasons in the past. I know it's windy, so hopefully you can hear me. But we've had neutral seasons in the past where we've had a great amount of hurricanes. I mean, look at 2005. Need I say more? But we've also had neutral seasons in the past where we've had very few hurricanes. I believe 2013 is a good example of that. So this hurricane season is interesting. We have high sea surface temperatures, like we've had for a few years now, and we've seen a lot of hurricanes form because of that. It looks like it's going to be a neutral season, so that means steering conditions are likely to go, allow a tropical cyclone to head towards the US or the Caribbean. So it's a very interesting setup that we have. And there's a lot more that goes into play. But if I were preparing for a hurricane or hurricane season in general, I would prepare for that, what I just said. Steering conditions are favorable for Caribbean and US landfalls, and it may be average to above average hurricane season. So I plan to do a better explanation on ENSO in the future. If you're interested in that, please like and follow. And I'll see you.